How did it feel when Mama and Dada had coronavirus? Huh? Did you enjoy reading your books and watching TV? Yeah. No breaking it.
You guys had to take care of yourself, huh?
Yeah. Did you like watching TV? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But did it make your head hurt? Did it hurt your head? Yeah. Ouchie. What about your nosies? You guys had lots of boogers. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Muchos? Lots of boogers. Yeah. I know. And did it hurt right here, your throat? Yeah.
Did coronavirus make you sad?
Your belly, yes. Your belly hurts so much?
Hey guys, it's Joshua Godek. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone had a happy new year, a safe new year. I hope that your families are doing well. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you have some great goals for the new year. If you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. We love sharing good things. We love sharing things that can help you, things that I hope can change lives. So please hit that subscribe button, comment, stay tuned. So as I'm sure you can see from the title of the video, that my own family had some experiences over this holiday period. We had some, and you can tell from my voice, it's not fully back yet. Along with my taste, my smell. COVID is a really funny thing, and well, it's not funny, I'm sorry, that's not the word, but it has some nuances that go with it. And I just want to share those experiences with you. My whole family was affected. I want to share what each person went through, just briefly, and just some of my thoughts about the whole coronavirus now that I've experienced it, that I've been through it, that my family's been through it. I had my own opinion about it before, but you know, as they say, until you've walked in somebody else's shoes, you really don't know what the world is going through at this point, because it's a pandemic. So many people are experiencing it. I think something like almost 4,000 people died just in one day the other day from this virus, and it's really serious. So I just want to share my thoughts about it, share my experience. Hopefully I can help some people in the process. I'm gonna share some things that I know worked, and then also just sometimes it helps to just be prepared, to know what you're going through. And I was lucky that when I did get it, at least I had a lot of people around me, and at least it's been almost 9 months into this pandemic now, so I kind of knew, I've heard the stories, I knew what to expect to some extent, although it really did shock me, kind of some of the things that I went through. Literally everyone in my family's got it, and it's not like a cold. You know, when you have a cold or maybe even the flu, maybe one other person in your family gets it, maybe like if your baby's sick, one of the parents will get sick. No, literally everyone in this house got sick. And I live with my wife, our kids, her mom and her dad, and then we were also watching her sister's baby, my wife's sister's baby, and some of the days after Christmas, and she came over, so we were in contact with my sister-in-law. Literally everyone else tested positive. So with the cold, I know that, yeah, maybe one other person, two other people will get it. This is different than the cold. This is not a cold. This is not the flu. The way this thing spreads is crazy, and I really hope that at least when my family got it, that we did not continue that spread. I hope it ended with us. Nobody went back to work. So I hope that the spread did end with us, but it is a very contagious virus. So those things that they warn about, it's serious, it's true. And I just want to remind you guys of that, because I myself, I've been hearing these things for months and months and months, and it gets old. You kind of like, oh, whatever. But no, it's listen to it, please. If that's all you can do, if you can just stay away from, it's not too hard to stay away from people. Just say, hey, I'm gonna just give you some space here, and if you're in public, wear your mask. But so that's how it started on Christmas, and then next thing you know, my family started dropping like flies, and there was one night I remember, it was just so vivid, like my babies got sick. We called our pediatrician, and they said there's really no point in testing the babies if they're already showing symptoms, and because you find out they have coronavirus and they don't have a treatment for them. They haven't studied enough about this virus to even really know what to do with the babies. So as long as they're not in super bad shape, there's no point in getting tested for the babies. But they did have some symptoms, and there was a night I just remember they were just so fussy, so screaming, and I had my mother-in-law and my wife, and we were just they're sick, I'm sick, we're just walking around like zombies trying to take care of these screaming babies, and it felt like I was in like a hospital in the middle of the war. So because the us as parents, we were the nurses at that point, and we were just overwhelmed. We couldn't handle it because we were sick, and I can just only imagine what those first responders feel on a daily basis. I dealt with taking care of 2 babies, sometimes 3 when my sister-in-law baby was over. But yeah, I can't imagine what they go through every day and just how strong they are. I just want to give a shout out to them, because oh my God, I've dealt with it for a week. They've dealt with it for months and months and months, and 10 times if not more, of the number of people they're dealing with, and even the experiences that they're dealing with I'm sure are even way more. So shout out to them, they're doing a good job. Not nice coronavirus. Not nice. Yeah, that was not nice. Don't get me sicky again. I'm gonna beat you. Yeah. But let me share just some of the symptoms and some of the remedies that helped us as a family. We are so lucky that nobody had to go to the hospital. We did not add that extra burden in the hospital system, although we did add to the numbers of total cases, but we did not add to the number of people in the hospital. I will say it's different for everyone. Some people can experience like steady, constant symptoms my wife's been experiencing for over a week now, just constant symptoms, and she also has what's called H. pylori, which is just a stomach bug that she's gotten when she was in Peru, and she hasn't fully treated it, just because during the pregnancy she wasn't able to treat it, and then after it kind of got better. But I actually learned this from my wife is in nursing school, and I was just listening into one of her classes, and they said it's actually not COVID that kills you. It's similar to AIDS in that what AIDS does is it weakens your immune system. It weakens the ability to fight disease and infection, and then it's another disease that comes in, or another infection or virus that comes in, and then that virus is what kills you. That's why you've heard that it's so dangerous for people who have cancer, or people who are already sick, or going through some type of surgery, because if they get an infection from that surgery and then they get coronavirus, their body's not able to fight that infection. So that's what happened with me, actually. I'd been off since December. I took some time off since like mid-December just to be with family during this period, and I've been taking the babies hiking and just we've been outside a lot, and I kind of caught a cold from just being out in the cold, and had like a little bit of a cough, and then this virus came that spread through our family, and I just still have that cough because my body wasn't able to, my immune system wasn't able to get that original cold out before I got this virus. And it hit me just like I got it smacked in the face, like I just took a punch. Because when you're taking care of babies all day, you don't have even time to feel sick. You're running after babies, you're doing, making food, you're changing diapers, you're doing all this stuff, and then next thing I know, I'm getting ready to put the babies to bed, and I'm like, whoa, I don't even know how I can hold a baby right now to like even lift them up and put them in a crib. I was so dead. I could not, my body just shut down. And then that night they had some other people were already sick in our house, so they were downstairs drinking tea and doing this thing that opens up your lungs, which I'll share a video of and the recipe, because it's an old Peruvian secret, and it actually does help clean your nose out and help you to breathe, because this virus can actually make it very hard to breathe.
Josh, are you that tall? My mom's even shorter than that.
I feel like I'm in a sauna.
Oh my god, do you see the smoke coming up from here? Gosh, I'm gonna have to be taking a shower today because you're just taking like balls.
I need a shower again. And that was when I went to sleep that night. It felt like literally somebody was plugging my nose. Like, no, like sometimes you get a cold, your nose is stuffy, but you can at least take a tiny sip of air in, and then maybe it's just hard. It just, like, you can't even suck it. Your nose is so plugged, you can't even suck through your nose. That's what happened to me. And that's how it felt. And then I had probably like 104 fever, and just laid in bed, took Tylenol, laid in bed, and the next morning I was a little bit better. But that, and then even the next day I felt 100 times better than I did that night, but my fever was still at 101 the next night when I went to go get tested. So in the morning it was probably even higher. And who knows, I didn't even have the energy to take my temperature that night. I just literally just laid in bed and breathed through my mouth, tried not to think about it, just tried to fall asleep. And then when you have fevers, you get so cold. I did wake up probably like not even past 12, just because I was so hot finally, because my body finally calmed down. I had all these covers and sweater on just because I was so cold at first. So I knew my body had fought through it a little bit, and that was my breaking point. And then honestly, in 2 days, I felt back to normal. That next day, I was like, just a little weak, because your body just fought to fight this virus off. And that night, my body was so weak. I didn't want to eat. I just had to just lay down. But, yeah, I luckily got through it fat. Not as healthy as I once was when I was playing soccer every day, but I'm still relatively healthy. And so I'm lucky in that regard. But And I really don't think it matters how much you're healthy or not healthy, but my body was able to fight it. But there's some other people in our house who have had these constant symptoms I think the fevers have mostly gone down, but just the lethargic and some nausea that just came from the virus. And then I will say, it's true. You cannot taste or smell anything. I have an older dog, and at night he sleeps in the entryway. And just because he's older, sometimes you can't let him out at night, and he pees on where the floors are. So we leave him in the entryway, and the next morning I was trying to clean up his pee, and I pour like some bleach into where the mop is, and I poured the bleach, and normally you can like smell it, like, and I'm like, did I run out of bleach? Did somebody just like put water in here? And I was so confused. I was like, why would somebody put water in the bleach? And then I just remembered from what I had heard. I'm like, no, you can't smell anything. That's why you're like this. And I just I stuck my nose right up to the bleach. I couldn't smell it. I was testing. After that, I would try to smell some apple cider vinegar. I could not smell that at all. And yeah, I could not smell anything. And smell and taste are so correlated together that it really affects your taste as well. So I tried to taste some things, and yeah, it's getting better now. I can at least taste some things, and I can smell if it's really strong. I was joking with my mom. She said like, hey, well, what did you smell today? And I'm like, well, the first one, I don't think you want to know what I smelled. But it is kind of nice. I'll share a quick clip right now. You're changing a baby's diaper, and you just don't smell it. It's actually a little hard to know when they poop. You have to watch them and see, okay, he's pushing right now, or she's pushing right now. But when you're changing it, you don't smell anything. That is one small benefit of that.
And go.
Stinky poop, but I don't smell nothing.
Laughing.
But I've cooked 3 times. Luckily, I've just made things that I know how to make, because if you're seasoning it and it's something new and you're trying to taste, I'm like, no, you can't. You don't know how much salt you put in. You don't know what it tastes like. You just literally, I feel like your memories just bring back, okay, this tastes good. So I just made a couple things that I've made in the past many times. So because even people in the family, they don't probably can't taste too much. Yeah, you don't realize how much you need your smell or your taste on a daily basis. So obviously taste when you try to eat, but smell, you don't realize how much you use it and how much you need it. It's like, oh, it's not sight or vision. I don't need smell. No, it's weird not being able to smell things. But my last thoughts I just want to share. You know, there's a whole vaccination process that's going on, and we have 7 billion people in the world. I don't know if that number is accurate, maybe more. And this virus spreads like crazy. So to vaccinate every single person, which probably won't happen because people won't want to get vaccinated or won't have access to it. But this coronavirus is going to continue for a while. I think that's clear with just how contagious this is, that even the lockdowns haven't worked. Even myself, yes, we had our cousin over for Christmas, and maybe we weren't as careful as we should be, but should have been. And I will say that we'll take full responsibility for that, and we suffered the consequences of it. But yeah, it's not going away anytime soon. So be prepared. If you've had it already, please leave a comment, share what some of your experiences, and if you haven't had it, please, this is just some small warning signs. I'm sure you've heard many stories. People have shared their experience, but I just wanted to share my experience. Maybe if you know me, and sometimes you hear on TV, oh, this famous person got it, or you hear, my friend's friend got it. But if you know me and you've been around me, you know that, hey, I'm a pretty normal person and I got it. So just know anybody can get it. And I hope some of these tips worked for you. Just stay strong, get through those rough nights. And if you do have one that really lingers, like my wife, and she's still feeling some of the symptoms, that just push through. And if you're strong, be there for people who have it as best as you can. I think that is kind of a fear of this disease, is that it's so isolating. You kind of, and even the Department of Health calls me and say, hey, lock yourself in your room. But my wife had it too, and my kids already showed some symptoms, so I wasn't gonna just stay away from them, even though if they already have it. But so we were all in this together. I was lucky at that. But if you can be there for somebody, or even if you can't physically be there, if you can just talk to them, make sure they're okay, check in on them, just give them words of encouragement. I was lucky, my family was lucky that we had each other. So for those people who are in the emergency room all alone, they don't have family that it's allowed to be with them, or even just those who have to be quarantined because they maybe had direct contact with somebody or showing some symptoms. For those people who have to be alone for, I think it says 13 days now, yeah, be there for them, because it's not easy being isolated. It is me. I was used to going, literally, we wouldn't go to places, but the babies and I we would go out to there's this park, or we would go hiking, and not being able to just go outside because we were sick, obviously, but it's hard, or at least not being able to go to the store. It's hard being inside all the time, and I know that's why so many people still want to go out and do things, and I get that. But when you do that, understand how contagious this virus is. Be careful, and if you're going to put yourself at risk, be ready to face the consequences. That's what we did on Christmas, and we faced the consequences. So I want to share that story with you guys. It was pretty long, but I hope it helped. And I love you guys. Stay safe. Stay loyal to friends and family. And be true to yourself. And hey, try to reach those goals this new year. God says faith without works is dead. So if you don't just say, oh, whatever happens this year. Let's work towards a goal. Have a goal for your life. Have a goal for your family. And I didn't really get to do a New Year's video because my whole family was sick. But hey, have some goals for this new year, and I know that you'll accomplish it if you. Well, God says, whatever you put your hands to do shall prosper. So put your hands to do something, and you will accomplish it. In Jesus' name, I love you guys.
Le dejado a Jesús en la casca.
That was not nice.
No.
Not nice. Don't do that.
No.
Good job, Shashi. Good dancing, Bella.
More? More? You put the right one in. You put your...